one benefit of this is you can get a Copilot for free until you are a student, and generates all these files and then gives an explanation. And this is the preview. You can preview here itself. So welcome everyone. So this is a webinar on uh, how you can make better use in the hackathon. So I will talk about a lot of building UI fast, building backend, and also some using AI tools to help you guys with the development. So this is in collaboration with the Panimalar Hackathon, PEC Hacks. So that's happening this month, end of this month. So and we are collaborating. They are collaborating with us and Chennai React. So I'm running a community called Chennai React, and Dhanush and Anina, they're also part of the team. So so this webinar is in collaboration with these two communities. So yeah, as I mentioned, Pec Hacks is happening on December 28 and 29. So our team also will be there to mentor the attendees. So yeah, see you all there. And little about Chennai React. So we started our community this year, Feb 2024, and we organize both in-person meetups and online meetups. And we have connected 6 meetups so far, and we are going really fast. We are close to 5,500 members on LinkedIn, and our Luma. So we mostly post our events in Luma. So there we are more than 1,200 members. And so next in-person meetup we are planning on February 2025. So that will be a one year anniversary event. So we will schedule the event soon and then share more details on our social platforms. And we're also planning to host our own hackathon sometime next year. So do watch out for that as well. Yeah, so this is the agenda for this webinar. So so first is we will discuss what are the things that you can do before you actually start coding, and how you can code UIs fast, and also the backend with minimal coding. And I'll also talk about few AI tools that you can use. Most of the tools are free. So there are paid tools are good, but there are also now a lot of development in the open source LLMs. So those are also really good. So I'll talk more on that. And general tips from my personal experience, I'll share those as well. So I have attended few hackathons before, and actually I got my first internships during attending a hackathon, and that is organized by GDG back in 2018. So I got my internship. My team actually won the hackathon, and I got an internship, and I got converted to a full time. So it's a company called Cube Cinema. So they sponsor the hackathon. So that's how I got my internship. So I have few experience with hackathon. So probably this will help you. This webinar will help you. So let's start. So plan before coding. So this is kind of counterintuitive, I would say, because hackathons are very short period of time, right? We only have 36 hours. I think this PEC hacks is 36 hours. Either it's 24, 48, or 36. So it's very short amount of time. So most people will think we should directly start coding, so that we can build more stuff. But that doesn't help really, because you will face a lot of confusions when you're building it. It So it's better to plan properly, and then start building. So this, for example, I'm not saying to plan extensively, like a 1 hour 2 hour, like something like that, but just plan whatever necessary just for 15 to 30 minutes, and that would really help you code without any confusion. So main thing is clearly define the product idea. So what you're planning to build, clearly define that, and prioritize the core feature sets. So core features are that. So without these features, the product that you're building doesn't make sense. So those are the core features. So you prioritize them, list them out, and list down the flows of those features. By flows, what I mean is user flows as well as the data flow between your front end and back end and other services. So list those down, and then you can have a clear picture. And obviously split the task between your team members. So team farming is also a main thing you have to do before hackathon. So all the team members have complementing skills will definitely um, help you build a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. So yeah, let's once you start with it. So I'm basically a front-end developer. I code a little bit of back-end, but primarily front-end. So I know a lot of stuff related to front-end. So what I would suggest is use a JavaScript framework instead of just using plain JavaScript. And also choose a good CSS framework and good component libraries to build your UIs. So quick question, how many of you use React, Vue? So which framework do you guys use? Can you post it in the chat? Let's make this a little bit interactive so that can't unmute, but just post in the chat. Let's see. React, Vue, Angular, React, a lot of React, Svelte. Awesome. A lot of Reacts. I can see a lot of Reacts. I also primarily use React. I'm most comfortable with the React. Pick any framework, but just don't use plain JavaScript because you don't have a lot of time. First, that's one thing. And it doesn't scale really well. So in hackathons, you don't think a lot when you code, right? Because you build fast, so you don't think about maintainability. So if you just dump in code, it doesn't. If it becomes very difficult to add more code to it, and add more features to it. So just pick any framework. If you're choosing React, then I ask you to choose any meta framework also, React, Next.js or Remix on top of React, because those give you a lot more features out of the box. For example, Next.js, if you choose Next.js, it gives you routing out of the box. It gives you image component out of the box, a lot of performance optimization that it already does. And it also has a lot of templates to bootstrap your app with. So if you want to choose any CSS framework or any template, it also supports those as well. So I prefer to choose any meta frameworks on top of React. And let's see. And CSS frameworks. So do you guys use any CSS framework? Can you post in the chat what CSS framework do you guys use for styling? Tailwind. So I also prefer Tailwind. This is no brainer for me because it helps you build helps you build features very quick, style all the components very quick, and it also has a lot of support with all the major frameworks, and also a lot of component libraries, supports theming using Tailwind CSS. And so I would definitely, Tailwind CSS is a no-brainer. I would prefer advise everyone to choose this. There are a lot of resources for this. So and UI component libraries. What kind of component libraries have you guys used in the past? This can be UI, SEMUI, ShadCN, PrimeView, and Design. Yeah. My pick would be ShadCN and Prime React. So these two are really good, and these two supports Tailwind. So you can build a lot of cool stuff with these two. I'll show you documentation for these two. Let me just. So this has a lot of built-in components. It uses Tailwind, as you can see here. And one benefit of this is you can it's fully customizable, because what it does is, unlike and design or MUI, all the components will be available in your folder, in your local. So it won't be an import. So when you add this command, what it does is it will generate these components, these files for you in your code base under a component folder or something. And then you can import it like this, and then you can use it. So style, customize the behavior, and all those stuff. So this is really powerful. You can do a lot of theming with it. You can customize the logic, and all these components are accessible. So you don't have to worry about those. And it's also pretty much good optimization on top of it. So under the hood, it uses Radix UI, I think. So it is the best in class. Most of the component libraries use Radix UI under the hood. So it's really good. And it supports most of the React frameworks. And yeah, I would definitely suggest using this. And primary React is also one of the other component libraries. Shared CN has a lot of components, but if something is not there, you can see if it is available here. This has ton of components, so you can use from, and this is also customizable with Tailwind. You can see here, it is customizable. You can use the mode, something like this, unstyled. So it will be unstyled and you can customize on top of it like this. So yeah, these two are my picks, but there are a lot of other things. Asynity is really good. So it's not a really component library, but list of components that you can copy paste. You can use that, and yeah, you can use quite a lot of stuff. And let me reshare the keynote. So with these, I think you can build a lot of good, beautiful UIs really fast. Um, I'll talk a little about V0. That's an AI tool that integrates really well with Shared CN. So I'll talk a little more on that in the next section. But let's talk about backend. Um, so setting up backend is nowadays it becomes easy, but still it takes quite some time. You have to think a lot about what you have to choose, and a lot of boilerplate code is there when you try to set up a backend on your own. So for that, I what I will do is for hackathons and or for small projects, I'll set up backend with very minimal code. So I'll either use headless CMS like Strappy, Contentful, Sanity, and stuff like that, or backend as a service like AppWrite, Firebase, Superbase, and stuff, or no code tools like Xano, Backendless. So all these are similar but little difference. So that's why these categories. So you can pick any and you're good with it. So most of these are open source. I think it's only few, I'm not entirely sure, but most of the open source, they give you they are paid if you host with them, but you can self-host it, and it's free if you self-host it. So you can pick any. So I have experience with Strappy, so I'll explain more about this, but these features would be available in other tools also that I mentioned before. So Strappy, it's a CMS. It has um, so okay, headless CMS. What it basically means is um, it will it will have an admin panel where you can create your schema, create your models, and connect with the backend. So whatever you want, you can create just by with an UI. You don't have to code anything, and it will give you the models, and then you can also add records to it via the admin UI, or it will give you APIs for all the models that you created, all the post APIs, get, post, put, delete, all those APIs, and you can connect that with your UI, and then call and then create those records and from it. So that's the concept of headless CMS. The headless meaning it is giving you APIs. You can use whatever basically whatever UI you want. That's why it's called headless CMS. So yeah, it's database agnostic. You can use any database you want, SQL, NoSQL, anything, and it gives you all the APIs that you need, and it's feature rich APIs also. So all the filtering, pagination, everything will be given to you out of the box for all the models that you create. And it gives you authentication, role based access, security, and all those stuffs out of the box, and it's fully customizable also. So some misconception is that these CMS won't let you customize or won't let you add your own endpoint or own controller, but it is fully customizable. So Strapi is really good, and most of the CMS are really good. It'll give you it'll give you ways to customize it. So Strapi is written in Node.js, so you can customize. You can I think it's just Fast API or something, not Express, but it's similar. So you can customize APIs, controllers, and directly write your backend logic there. I'll show you a quick documentation for Strapi. Okay, so here if you see this content manager, content builder, yeah. If you see this is the admin UI that I talked about in Strapi. So once you start the application, this will pop up, and you can create your collections here. Collection is basically the models. You can define what it is, what fields it has by adding a field, and what kind of type it is, text, Boolean, long text, IDs, and all those stuff. And you can also do relations between them. So I think relations is somewhere there, but yeah, I can relate multiple tables, or if it's a SQL, you can relate them, add relations, and you can add data also directly here, writing content. Yeah, you can go to a collection, add the data, click on publish, and it will be added to the database. If you want to do manually, you can do it from the admin panel, and you can also host your assets and roles. Yeah. By default, they give you 3 roles, but you can add a new role here. You can add a new role, and that will be available under this global settings. And once you added a role, uh, you can give. So this is added. We have the role, and so authenticated is a role. So basically, over authenticated, that's the role. So you can select what permissions they have for each collection or each model. For accessing the about records, only find is get. So if I click on this, only this API is will be accessible, and all the delete and put APIs will return unauthorized for the authenticated users. Only for admins you can have everything checked. So you can have role-based control for your content. And what else? So yeah, APIs. So let's see. For developer docs. Yeah. So this also has option to choose from REST API or uh, REST API or GraphQL. You can choose either. So for all the collections, for all the models, it will give you these APIs: get, post, get by ID, put, and delete. This is a real example of what those APIs are. And one one feature rich thing is you can do filtering, advanced filtering like this. So you can put what operator you want to filter with, basically SQL query, right? You can put it like here and then filter records. So one example is this. So if I'm filtering username and it equals to John, so all the users with the name John will be returned. If you want to have contains and stuff, you can just can do that. So it's really powerful. Can do deep filtering. So by deep filtering, I mean you can go to that record. So it's mostly for NoSQL, but what you can do is go to that chef record and then go to inside that, go to restaurants and then star, and then that equals 5. So you can do those kind of filtering as well. And pagination, sorting. If you want to sort the records by name, by other fields, pagination. So all the things you can do. So it's really powerful. So most of the CMS does it, but I have experience with SAPI, so that's why I'm explaining this. But um, if you have experience with other CMS or other backend as a service tools, you can go ahead with it and work on them. And the only limitation I would say is for Strapi is it uses Node.js. So if you are from Python, Java, other backend background, then customizing it is a little difficult. But what I would say is, let's say if your product requires training some ML model, then do it in Python separately, and then expose that as an endpoint, and then call using this Strapi. So have Strapi as a main backend, have all user authentication, everything is done by one backend, that is Strapi. And then so having an endpoint is simple. So just one line of code, you can add that, and that will expose an endpoint. So using that endpoint, call your Python servers, ML servers, other services, and then get the data and return. So have it in a single, have this trap as a main backend, and then have multiple services based on your need. So that would be really useful. So I'll share back to the keynote. Okay. So yeah, that's for the backend. Now let's talk about some AI tools. Yeah, these three are things that I'm going to talk about. Have you guys used Copilot, GitHub Copilot, or any other AI tool? Can you post in the chat? Windsurf. Okay. Copilot, yeah. Blackbox, yeah. I've seen a lot of ad in Instagram for Blackbox. Is it really good? Perplexity, come on, yeah. Copilot. Yeah, Bolt is new. Um, I have tried Bolt. Um, and there's I think one open source version of Bolt also is now available. Bolt dot something like that. Bolt do it yourself, I think. DIF DIY. I'm not sure, but yeah, Bolt is also really good. ChatGPT V0 and Bolt new. Nice. Okay. Um, so yeah, Copilot, GitHub Copilot is I think $10 per month. But I think most of you here, I think, are students, I presume. But for students, Copilot is free. So I'll share my screen and show you how you can get it. Where is it? I think this one. Yeah. Okay. So there is a student, GitHub student developer pack. With this, let's let it load. Yeah. With this, you can get the GitHub Copilot for free until you are a student. And by the way, student pack has a lot of things. You can get your domain, DigitalOcean credits, JetBrains, Azure. There are a lot of stuff you can use this for. This is really good. Frontend Masters is a really good course platform for learning frontend. You can use that to learn. Yeah, there are a lot of stuff you can do. But yeah, Copilot is available for free. You can use it. But for others, if you don't want to pay $10 per month, what you can do is you can set up your own Copilot on your system. So there's this tool called Continue.dev. What it does is it's basically AI in an editor. So yeah, so it'll do whatever Copilot does. It'll autocomplete on tab. It'll reference the chat. So if you select something and then click on reference something, and you will get that in the chat window, and you can ask questions for that particular section alone. Basically context based questions, and you can also add files for which files you want to get the context from, or you can add the entire code base and stuff like that. And yeah, you can highlight and then ask it to change something, change the code. So yeah, the best thing is you can use any model. So I think in Copilot you can use only paid models, but here you can use any models. All open source models you can use. So we'll be using a Llama model from Meta. So that is really good, on par with uh, OpenAI. So here, Open Router is where we get the model from. So you sign up and then uh, go to settings, I think keys, yeah, and create your API key. And go to models and search and filter based on pricing low to high. So these are all free models. All these are free. So this is a really good model. Llama 3.23b. This is really good. This is the comparison. Where is the comparison? So I think I haven't added the comparison, but yeah, it is on par with GPT-4o and Claude as well. So you can use this. So copy this. Just go here and then copy this. And so, okay, first is once you install this code continue tab, so you can install it from, I'll share my VS Code. Okay. Yeah. So go to the extensions, continue dev. mm, uh, yeah, this one. Continue dev and install it. Once you have it, this is the icon, continue dev icon. And here, go to settings. So this is the settings config. Here you can add the model. So you can copy, I'll probably add this also in the resource and share the Notion resource with you. So here you can add the API key that you generated here. And this is the URL for the open router. And this is the model name that you copied from there. And provide as open router and the name. So, and you can select this. So if you have multiple models, you'll have a selection here and that. And this one, it will call. So since we are giving a API base URL and API key, so it will, whenever you ask question or select a code and then ask a question based on the context, it will make a call to this open router and to that model and then get the data. So it will have some time, basically similar to ChatGPT and other things, right? It will take some, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and stuff like that. But it's relatively fast, but it will take some time. So for autocomplete, you can't have that, right? But we want autocomplete to complete very fast. As we type, it wants to complete. So for that, you can use a lightweight model. So this is autocomplete model. You can have a separate model for autocomplete. So this, what you want to do is you want to run it locally because you don't want to make a network request and get that result back. So you can run it locally. So you can use Olama to run it. Okay. Here we can see full screen. Okay, yes. Um, yep. Okay, Olama. So here you don't have to log in or anything. You can just go to Olama and then this is the model I was talking about. When this is a model uh, from Alibaba, the Amazon competitor from China. So they have this open source model. This is really good. And you can use 1.b, that is very lightweight. It's just 986 MB. You can run it on most of the computer, most of the laptop. So these are all powerful models um, um, on par with GPT-4o, but this one is very lightweight and it is most preferred for these code sessions. So download this, copy this command, run it in a terminal, and you will get that model. And once you have it, you can put it in the in this name of the model. So there's no API base URL because it's running locally, and I can use that. So let's see. So I have the add function. So you just type, then it knows it's subtract. I'm gonna add a subtract function. And what it does is another, I think it will show you multiply also in some time. Demos are always bad. Why the continue is not loading? Yeah, now it's loading. It can be, yeah, divide. What is this? Okay, generating some stuff. But yeah, you get the point, right? So for local, you can use a local model for autocomplete. And there is little more uh, speed, fast. Um, so that's for, so with this, you have a GitHub Copilot kind of setup. So you can select this. Let's say I'm selecting this code function and then hitting Command I, and it will take that here. See the social, and then this line 53 to 63 is added. So I hope you can see the screen, right? Make it bigger. Yeah, 53 to 63 is added, and I can ask what this code does, and then it will. There's some issue, but yeah. So it's showing. I think. Let's see. Manual to chat. Yeah. Oh, it's showing up here. Okay. Yeah. I think it's taking the entire file and then showing. But yeah, so you can use this to um, make it as a open source version of your Copilot if you can't use the paid version. Next, what's the point next? Next is V0. V0 is really useful for Next.js related stuff. It also does other things as well. It also I have seen a demo where it developed 3D interactive kind of desktop application as well. But mostly I prefer to use it for Next.js, building Next.js applications. So it's developed by Vercel. Where is this? It is developed by Vercel, and it's really powerful. It also develops component using ShardCN, so it's integrated really well with it. So ShardCN, if you see here, um, you see here, there will be an option to open in V0. I hope you can see here. Yeah. What it does is if you open that, it'll open that in V0 and you can customize it with the V0. So from the chat itself. So that's really good. So what I did was I did one chat for this. So let's see this. So I took a screenshot of the Netflix homepage, just the main section, and then ask it to generate. I just asked generate UI based on this image. It itself identifies as Netflix, generates all these files, and then gives an explanation. And this is the preview. You can preview it here itself, and you can see the code. So it also organizes really well. All the pages and everything, it organizes really well. And yeah, it does a pretty good job. You can do some customizations. You can also, I believe, select you can select some thing and make and ask questions. Select some element in the UI and ask questions. Make this color red, something like that. And it will take some time and changes to color red. And this is not free. It is limited. You can they didn't mention how many messages that you can do and how many follow-up messages that you can do, but it is limited. And if you want, you can upgrade to paid plan. And the paid plan, I think it's $20. Yeah, it's upgraded to red. Uh, so yeah, but it's really useful. I think for hackathons, probably you can generate 20 messages. You can, if you want, you can use a couple of your team members' account and then probably do a lot of stuff with it. It also has this import from Figma option. If you have a Figma design, if you design the product in Figma and you want to import and make it interactive, you can use that also. So this is really powerful and really useful. And you can directly deploy from here, but probably you will have a local environment setup and you can use that. But yeah, anyway, that's also there. That is V0. And so Copilot and other stuff, they don't have image upload. So V0 has image upload. That's a distinguishing factor. Uh, 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 but it's not open source, right? It's got screenshot the code. Yeah. My internet is slow. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see. This is the repo. Here, see this. Let's wait for it to load. Okay. See this video. He took a screenshot of the YouTube and then it generates based on that, similar to V0. And you can also see the code, I believe, from here. But yeah, it generates a video. And one unique thing here is this part. Oh, it's a GIF. Okay. So you can record the screen recording, not just the image. You can do the screen recording of directly from here and then generate the code and it'll generate it. and it will show you the behavior also. So what behavior you want, the search results inside it, drop down, all those stuff. So you can do a screen recording and then ask it to generate. So this is one unique thing here. This is also the hosted version is paid, but the code is open source. So you can clone this, and then similar to how we did for the continue, you can set up your API key. I think it also supports open router also, probably. Open router should be there. Yeah, I think it should be there. So open router also it supports. So you can use open source models, and then the quality might be not up to the point as it's shown here. I think they also mentioned somewhere here I saw. It's not recommended to do it, but if you want, you can try it out. Mostly it should work because I think this is updated. When was this updated? Last month, but now the release of and the Quen model from Alibaba, that is really good. You can use the higher memory version, and that should be able to be on par with GPT. So yeah, that is this open source tool. Yeah, and so far we covered all these things. Now just general tips from my personal experience. um, so yeah, first start building with the core features, and then you can expand to the later lesser priority features. So what I would say is have idea of what the entire bigger vision, what the entire product would be, and then you can say that in the demo. So first fill the core features and then have that built perfectly and have that ready, and you can talk about the improvements that you're going to add, the next set of features you're going to add, and all those stuffs later in the demo. So that would be really helpful. And so in hackathons, what I experienced was if I'm trying something new or some feature new, I would I would get stuck because I'm building so fast in those hackathons. So I would naturally get stuck at some point. I would mess up something and get stuck. So instead of just looking at the screen, what helped me was just to take some coffee break or just a break, walk around, and then coming back to the problem. That really helps. So I would recommend doing so. If you are staring at the screen just for 10 minutes straight and then you're not getting anywhere, just take some 5-minute break, talk to a few people, and then come back. Then you might get a breakthrough on solving that issue. And this hackathon is not just for you know building stuff. Um, it also for networking with a lot of people, because all the attendees there are developers, hardcore developers, because they are there to build. So in most events, some people come there just for learning stuff or very beginners, but here people are really good at what they're doing, so they come here to build. So network with them, network with the mentors, and also I think judges will be there at towards the end. So talk to them, and even before the presentation, what I would recommend is just go talk to them and get their opinion. I think that would give you some good impression on, like, you are taking some initiative to come and talk to them. So basically make you a little bit stand out, I would say. So try doing that. Um, and practice the demo. So that's also one thing. Building is good, but demo part is what the main hero is, right? How well you present your product. So I would say practice it more. Have a good presentation. Slash some screen recordings. So don't do live demos. Sometimes it might not work. It might be cool, but it might not work all the time. So have a backup, have a screen recording of what you did, of the working product, and then that should be good. And as I mentioned, it's more than just winning. We only have top three places, right? So there are a lot of teams, and only three winners. So the main objective is to win, but try to network. Um, I have seen people who didn't win but get some internship opportunities also. So it's up to you how you present yourself and to other. So I think a lot of sponsors also will be there throughout the hackathon. So just talk to them, introduce yourself, do tell them what you're doing, what you're interested in, and who knows, they might have a job opening for you also. So yeah, so it's more than just winning. You can do a lot of stuff in those hackathon days. So um, that's it. That's it from me. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. I don't have an ending slide, I think. I'll have this slide. If you have any questions, you can ask me.